Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Friday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers have been in action the past couple days. And I will be remiss to say if I apologize for not being able to have my pregame and postgame analysis per every show that I do always around this time. So, I was tied up in a bunch of meetings and on planes and just kind of back and forth from the East to the West Coast. And I was so inundated that I didn't even really have a chance to watch the games, but I did go back and watch. I don't want to give a full, complete breakdown because there's other things that we need to focus on right now because some things are behind us. But it's a couple things I do want to point out on those games. First thing I want to point out is all the haters who was talking about LeBron James, we saw on the game against Utah. The Lakers actually played how many games in how many days? They played 5 games in 8 days when they were taking on the Clippers, whereas the Clippers had just had 3 days off. Now, we're not here to make excuses, but we're going to get back to that game in a minute. First, I want to focus on the Utah game because what I said previously was that the Lakers were going to have a trap game in Utah because they would be looking ahead to the Clippers game, and it was the last day for them to be on the road and that they would be back in the confines of Los Angeles, even though it would be technically a road game, taking on the Clippers, even though it would be at home in the confines of their own arena and, of course, their home of Los Angeles. And, of course, the Lakers did not prevail, which we'll talk about that in just a moment. But, like I said, not here to make excuses. The Lakers took on the Utah Jazz, and that was a trap game, just as I predicted. And the Lakers were up by 10 with a little over a minute to go. And now you're thinking, oh, yes, the Lakers got to get back to her. They came back and did everything they said that they were going to do. And now it's time to put them away. Get on the plane, get home, celebrate the victory, put it right behind you, and let's get ready to go for the Los Angeles Clippers. But, of course, it was not to be because the Lakers messed up at the end and sort of, from what I remember, made some boneheaded mistakes, allowing Utah back into the game. Of course, Lauri Markkanen made an amazing three-point shot from like 35 feet deep with time on the shot clock, which was a prayer actually that kind of bounced off the backboard. He didn't call bank, but the bank was open, and it was, man, I'm telling you what, the bank was not closed. He made it and made their withdrawal for 3 points, and it went in. And when that happened, I said, oh, my God, here it comes. Here it comes. And what do you know? The Utah Jazz were able to tie the game up, even though the Lakers had a chance to finish it at the end. LeBron James went to his left hand, but was just not strong enough to get it up and get it in. And then you go into overtime, and of course, Utah gets the jump ball, and it leads to a breakout on the jump ball and one play, putting them up by 3. Now, here we go. So then the Lakers don't score. They go back down another possession. Utah goes to the foul line, makes 1 out of 2. Now they're up by 4. And what happens? LeBron James takes over the game at age 38 on the road in a high elevation place, a hard place to play in Utah because I've already said the 2 hardest places to play on the road in the league is Utah and Denver because of the high elevation that you are not accustomed to unless you are the home team that you are accustomed to it, and it makes for very advantageous for them to be at home when you're talking about the Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets. But I will say this. LeBron James hit that 3, cut it to 1, and next thing you know, he took over in overtime. Anthony Davis missed 2 free throws in overtime. While everybody talking about AD doing all the heavy lifting, AD this, AD that, don't make me pull the numbers of what the Lakers' record have been without LeBron James. Now, of course, we know AD contributed greatly to these victories, but don't act like this wasn't a new team after the trade deadline, because if AD would have been dealing with that same old Pat Bev, Russell Westbrook team, the Lakers' playoff hopes would have been down the drain as soon as LeBron got hurt. But, of course, it was not because, like I said, go back and watch my film, go back and watch my show, that the Lakers would stay afloat and would make a move even without LeBron James, because that's how much faith I have in this newly assembled squad because of the pieces that they have. When you talk about good defenders in Anthony Davis and Jared Vanderbilt, rim protector in Anthony Davis, and somebody who can take over the game on the offensive end, you're talking about a true point guard in D'Angelo Russell. You're talking about a great on-the-ball defender in that of Dennis Schroeder, and of course Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, of course, coming to his own. So many various things that we can talk about when it comes to the new look Lakers. But at the end of the day, who hit the game-winning shot to win the game? The go-ahead shot was none other than LeBron James. And as soon as he hit it, I said, "Oh my goodness, man." Now they had to play that whole extra 5 minutes. LeBron James played 38, 39 minutes. AD played 42 minutes. And I was at that point worried that would be the case after I had watched the game later on that night before my meetings the next day. And I said, you know what? This is not going to be good for the Clippers game. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to see that in its entirety until the next day as far as the Clippers game as well. But that's what I was thinking as soon as I watched that game that morning, early that morning, by the way. But anyway, I'm a soldier to try to get all the games in that I can. I haven't really missed a game this year in order to bring you all the thorough analysis that I can. And of course, like I said, when the Lakers exhausted themselves the next day, you can clearly see Austin Reeves didn't have his legs. You can clearly see LeBron James didn't have his legs. You can clearly see AD did not have his legs. And of course, LeBron James played one of the worst halves of his career, only 3 points. As I was watching that game later on that night, up late at night before I would be ultimately having to go to the airport, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh my goodness, what is really going on here? And I saw, I was like, man, and I didn't even look at the box score because I said, let me just watch the game in its entirety before I even look at a box score. And man, LeBron James really put on the show the second half. He stepped up. He took on the assignment of Kawhi Leonard in the third quarter as the Lakers went on that run to cut the lead from 24 down to 7. Now, if the Lakers had came out with that same tenacity, then you would be talking about a Lakers victory. But lo and behold, the Lakers did not. Like I said, no excuses. You got to give all the props in the world to the Clippers. Whenever they play the Lakers, they just started hitting those shot after shot. Terrence Mann came up big. Bones Highland in the fourth quarter, who hadn't scored all game, hit 2 big threes. He came up big. Russell Westbrook in the first half, he was coming up big in the first quarter, but Ty Lue saw what he was reverting back to that old Westbrook, and he kept him on the bench for the majority of the second half. I want to say Russell Westbrook only had 20 minutes. So there's a lot we can talk about during that game, but LeBron James was really bully balling and manhandling that whole second half. Now, you mean to tell me, now let's just be real. I don't care if you're a Clipper fan, a Laker fan, or whatever fan you are. If you're watching right now, you put in the comments and be honest. Be honest with yourself. If the Lakers had 3 days off and it was the other way around, how would that have gone? Now, we know the Clippers were minus Paul George, but you could not clearly tell me that the Clippers are a better team than the Los Angeles Lakers. So if you go into it on an even playing field, then what is going to happen? And we know the Clippers have won the last 11 in a row, but who cares? How many, we're not going to talk about championship banners. We're not going to do any of that. It is what it is right now. But let's see what happens in the playoffs. Hopefully Paul George can get back. I'm rooting for him. I'm a Paul George fan. I hate to see him go down like that because I think this could have been a great opportunity for the Lakers and the Clippers to meet in the Western Conference Finals, which I think would draw a lot of ratings around the league. But of course, a lot of people thinking people dodging the smoke. The Lakers ain't dodging no smoke from nobody. Trust what I'm telling you. But we see tonight, let's forget talking about the past. Let's talk about the future and let's live in the now. So what is going to happen tonight? Of course, the Phoenix Suns are resting all of their starters because they've pretty much secured up the 5th seed of where they're going to be as far as being the 4th seed where they're going to be, and they're probably going to be taking on the Clippers as the 5th seed. So the Clippers should be careful what they wish for. They fought hard to get that position, and now here they are. They might not even make it out the first round when they take on the Phoenix Suns. But either way, when one of those teams fall out, it's going to be just as good for the Lakers. And since the Phoenix Suns are resting their starters tonight, we know that the Lakers, I'm pretty much betting it all that the Lakers is going to win tonight. And when the Lakers win, they still have an opportunity to get that 6th seed because if Golden State loses a game, then the Lakers can slide into that 6th spot. Now, we know Golden State Warriors are taking on none other than the Sacramento Kings tonight. But from what I hear, the Sacramento Kings are resting some of their starters as well, namely, I think Fox may be playing. I'm not sure. He may be playing, but Sabonis, I think for sure is sitting. But we shall see. They're resting their starters because they've secured their position. But really, Memphis hasn't secured the 2 spot, so Sacramento could have a chance to move to the 2 spot. But I think they the ones dodging the smoke. I think Sacramento wants their 3 spot, and they want Golden State to win tonight so they can play Golden State in the first round because they honestly believe that they can beat Golden State in the first round. They've done it throughout the majority of the season. Golden State has not been able to win on the road at all this year, and that's going to be the same case in Sacramento. We know they will be getting Wiggins back, but it may be just a little bit too late to get the chemistry and his legs back underneath him to be in basketball shape. So with that said, who knows what kind of run they can go on. And if they were to play in the first round, I would probably pick Sacramento in that series. But they don't want them Lakers, because if Sacramento really wanted them Lakers, Sacramento would play tonight and beat Golden State. Then they could get the Lakers. But they don't want none, baby. They don't want none. You understand me? But I will say this. Portland might play spoiler alert upset because they've been playing great as of late, even though Dame Dollar has shut it down. They've been coming. Jeremy Grant and company has been coming in it to win it just so they can show. And a lot of these guys, playing for their career. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be playing tough and just playing the spoiler. So, who knows? They might be able to do it. They might not. But, I think it is on the road in Portland on a Sunday afternoon game. If Golden State so happens to fall to Portland, then the Lakers could take care of business later that night at Utah, and then they could secure them a 6 seed and stay out of the play-in tournament. But doesn't look like that may not happen just because of everybody resting their starters. So with that said, the Lakers would be probably the 7th seed, which means they would get home court advantage for the play-in, playing probably none other than New Orleans, who they played well against as of late. So I would imagine that they would win that game at home. And once they win that game at home, unfortunately, they will be matched up with the Memphis Grizzlies. And the Memphis Grizzlies, to me, is that one team that could give the Lakers problems, because the Memphis Grizzlies, of course, you have the dynamic point guard of Ja Morant, who's capable of doing a lot. But you have Desmond Bane, who plays great defense. And you also have Jarrett Jackson Jr., who is a great defender, leads the league in blocks continuously, defensive player of the year candidate. They haven't got Steven Adams back yet. If they were to get Steven Adams back, it would be a lot more scary, because that matchup with Anthony Davis, Steven Adams is very strong, and he's going to go head up with him. And the Lakers can switch with anybody in the league. The Lakers, and they play well on switching, as far as the Lakers, when they put pressure on pick and roll defenses, when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the Lakers' problem really consists of on the ball defense, people penetrating, not just really the transition defense could be a lot better. But when you're talking about quick transition coming down before teams set up, you really have only really one very good on-the-ball perimeter defender, and that's Dennis Schroeder, who I'm surprised didn't get more minutes in the Clippers game, because I think he could have came in and shut down Bones Highland, but they elected to go with D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. Maybe could have went to that 3 smaller ball lineup and put LeBron, at that 4 and AD at that 5 and went like that to kind of match that. But, of course, I feel like Ham got out-coached by Lou once again, and Lou has still not lost to the Lakers, man. Props to him, but that ain't gonna happen in the playoffs if they meet up. I'm telling you right now. And the Lakers ain't dodging no smoke, because I'm gonna stand by to what I said. I bet the money on the Lakers plus 3,300. You better get your money in, because if they can get hot in these playoffs and stay healthy, that's the key. They have what it takes to constitute a championship. And I'm telling you, if Anthony Davis plays like Anthony Davis has been playing, it ain't going to be nobody that's going to stop him. And LeBron James, if he plays like he did in the second half the other night, which he will, because he will be getting the appropriate rest, especially when they sweep whoever the hell they going to sweep in the first round. And the Lakers, hey, what if they lose to New Orleans in the play-in tournament and go to the 8th seed? And once they go to the 8th seed, they can take on the Denver Nuggets. To me, that's a more favorable matchup, even though I just said Utah is a hard place to play. Denver is a hard place to play, especially with the elevation. I just think in the playoffs, the Lakers could easily steal one in Utah. Damn it, why do I keep saying Utah? Steal one in Denver and steal that home court advantage, and then do what they need to do, because I like the matchup with AD and Jokic. I would favor AD all day long on that. Jokic isn't the best rim protector at all. I think the Lakers could really take advantage of that by attacking the paint in pick and roll options. And when they come to double, kick out to open shooters. Now the Lakers have a D-Lo. They have Austin Reeves. They have people, Mike Beasley, who can actually go out here. Malik Beasley, my bad, who can go out here and hit threes. You understand what I'm saying? So we shall see. It's going to be very interesting. I would have liked for the Lakers to clinch that 6th seed. That way they would have had about a week off while the play-in tournament goes on. But hopefully they can win their first game in the play-in tournament, clinch that 7th spot, and just it'll have to be Lakers against Memphis. It is what it is. Hey, I'm sorry, y'all know I'm with Laker Nation all day, LeBron James supporter all day. But the hometown Memphis 10, you know I got love for him. So I'm going to do my best to be the non-most biased person that I can when it comes to this. But at the end of the day, I still would favor the Lakers because you're talking about Anthony Davis and LeBron James playing at a high level. And, of course, we saw Memphis and the Lakers play recently and how it went. And we know Dillon Brooks, you know, we cannot depend on him to be able to be clutch. You have to get a lot from John Morant. And I just think the Lakers have a lot to throw at him. And they'll be able to counter now with D'Angelo Russell to counter him on the offensive end, but a Dennis Schroeder to give him problems on the defensive end and give him full pressure court defense. You understand what I'm saying? So we shall see. It's going to be a whole lot to talk about. Hope y'all ride with me every day as we continue to talk not only Lakers basketball, NBA basketball, playoffs, every day. And in general, like I said, sorry for the last couple of days not being able to come at y'all with my predictions and everything else. But I will say this, man. Y'all saw how Coach James was playing in that second half. Be prepared when him and Anthony Davis play like that on the same night. It's going to be a very hard team to stop. I don't care if you Phoenix. And, of course, no Kevin Durant tonight. So it's still been since the Christmas game of 2018, since since LeBron James and Kevin Durant have faced off. So we got to keep waiting. Maybe we'll see it in the Western Conference Finals. Who knows? But at the end of the day, man, this is your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real and much love to these haters. I'm out.